to talk about another family before we get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Kendrick Johnson.
Ooh,
Everybody
breaking.
remember him?
Yeah, big case.
Another family. In 2013, Jacqueline Johnson is the mother. I met her. Beautiful woman, beautiful spirit, great woman. In June of 2013, Kendrick Johnson's body was found rolled up in a mat at his school. The Johnsons hired Dr. Bill Anderson to conduct an independent secondary autopsy because they were saying that he fell, it was an accident. In the autopsy, Anderson told Johnsons he found evidence that Kendrick died as a result of a blow to the neck and not accident asphyxia after slipping into a gym mat. So that was a lie what they told her happened to him at school. This happened in South Georgia. But what Dr. Anderson did not find shocked him. When we got the body from the second autopsy, the organs, the heart, the lungs, the liver were not there. Mm-hmm. The brain, they were all absent. Every organ from top of Kendrick's head to the pelvis was gone. Jesus.
They stuffed his body with newspaper. Yep. Kendrick Johnson case. Look it up, people. And I think this is one that, like, I think we know on a state level, and it's tragic, but I feel like so many people don't know about this case. So I'm super happy that they are reopening it, which is basically what we're getting at. They're reopening this case because, like, it's been rumors that it's been a cover-up since day one.
So, they've been going through this for 8 years.
Yeah, this is a strong family. They've been fighting for a while.
When I spoke to her, she was like, "You don't know how it is."
The case been going on for 8 years.
Yeah.
2013, this happened.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
I didn't think it was that long.
When I talked to her, she was just like, "You don't understand. They make in this town where they're at. You know, it's a little town in South Georgia, and she was like, they make it seem like we're crazy. They start rumors about my family. I'm like,
It's a lot.
God bless her.
Man.
I just okay.
In a small town, you can't escape it either. Like you got to deal with it. It's no escaping.
So the investigators concluded that it was an accident. The discovery that their son's body and skull had been stuffed with newspaper before burial added horrific new dimension to their anguish and further fueled their skepticism of the official findings. We have been let down, the father said, Kenneth Johnson. That's what he told CNN. This is according to CNN. When we buried Kendrick, we thought we were burying Kendrick and not half of Kendrick. Kendrick was found dead in a gym at Lowndes County High School in January 2013. State medical examiners concluded the 3-sport athlete suffocated after getting stuck in a rolled-up gym mat. Death was not accidental, family's autopsy finds. Mm-hmm. His parents, Kenneth and Jacqueline Johnson, never bought that. They won a court order to have their son's body exhumed and a second autopsy performed. Mm-hmm. During the autopsy, internal organs were removed, examined before being returned for burial. They have a private pathologist who conducted the second autopsy, opened up in the teen's remains. The brain, the heart, the lung, liver were all missing. Every organ from the pelvis to the skull. We already discussed that. Now, the case has been reopened. Mm-hmm. The people that were involved in 2013 are gone. There's new people involved. And before, what's the date of this article?
I think we're on 2013. The old one is probably 2013. At
the time, guess what? Lowndes County Sheriff Chris Prine refused to discuss the matter with the news. Mm-hmm. Calling Johnson's death a closed case. The U.S. Justice Department announced September that it wouldn't open a civil rights investigation into the case. They didn't even want to be bothered with it. So now guess what? New audio confession into Kendrick Johnson's case handed to investigators. A new piece of potential evidence has been brought to the attention of the authorities in the high-profile death of the Valdosta teen. I guess that Lowndes County, Valdosta is in Lowndes County. Yeah. A family spokesperson first told Coast News an audio tape has been obtained with someone appearing to confess to the murder of Kendrick Johnson. Marcus Coleman, shout out to Marcus Coleman, provided a transcript of the recording which says, "They're going to catch me anyway. Should have never done that. I was young and stupid, man. Kendrick didn't deserve that. They're going to catch me," the transcript said. The man who said the words has not been identified. Coleman says the tipster sold the tape for $1,000 to the Johnson family. Coleman says that he is cautiously optimistic about the tape and the reopening of the investigation. We don't know. There is what appears to be a Caucasian male admitting tearfully and fearfully to killing Kendrick Johnson, Marcus Coleman said. Shout out to Marcus Coleman. I don't care who does what and what activist does anything. He is the truth.
And he's considered, about to say, if it's one consistent person in Atlanta.
If there's one consistent activist leader in this city, that's the one.
Yeah.
If something happens to me, you call him.
Noted.
And Attorney Griggs.
Noted.
The live wheel.
And Attorney Griggs.
Right here on tape. We got it. Shout out to you too, G. We see you out here still doing big things.
And Dante Carter.
Yeah. And
you too.
Thank you.
So, yeah, that's crazy.
Go ahead.
No, soak that in. I don't even know what to say to that. I hope that they get to the bottom of it. Selling it for $1,000, like you still like what?
Like it's one.
What?
It's one of those things to where, like, once again, the price of I always tell people the price is different for different people. And I feel like 8 years later, because as you can attest, this is a strong family. They've been dealing with this for 8 years. It's almost a decade of fighting for justice for their son. And
we went to the march, the Mother's March in the summertime. She was there. I was with Monteria Johnson and her family. Mm-hmm. There were a few families that were there. Charlie
Tilson, yeah, Rockdale County.
It was a few families there. Marcus Coleman was heading it up. Scotty Smart was there. They were heading up the march, and that's where I met the mother. And we got to the end of the march, and guess who showed up at the end of the march? T.I. We walked another block. We got to the state capitol. Guess who was there at the state capitol? Tamika Mallory. So some of the mothers may feel like, well, before the cameras and everything showed up, why didn't y'all say nothing around Atlanta about all this stuff that was going on? You got a huge platform. You got 3 different television shows. You got all this stuff. But I guess you kind of got to be careful, too, with your platform.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you got to be careful.
Everybody but I try to bring attention to as much as I can to my little platform that I'm sure will soon to grow. Every voice should,
And I think that goes back to what Dom kind of said earlier, that the way people fight is different. Everybody
fights different.
Everybody's fight is different. Like the way that they approach. Some people are boots on the ground, and again, me, I'm behind the scenes.
And you just because you're behind the scenes doesn't mean like, I want to be vocal. I want to be out there, and I want to hold my sign, and I want to show solidarity with these people because there's strength in numbers, and I feel like the power is in the people. And the more people you see, the more power you're gonna see is behind this movement. But guess what? I could eat bonbons sitting on my couch and just donate $1,000 every month to this cause. It's the same thing. You don't have to be in front. Like, and my thing is this, because people get caught up, their ego gets swept into things, and I get that. And sometimes, let me tell you something. Everybody wants to be the face of something, but the movement, every movement doesn't need a face. They need feet.
Well.
You need to be a part of the number that's marching to the same goal.
Strength in numbers. Yeah.
So I don't understand how people become caught up in trying to be the face of things when there's a machine behind this. Yeah. Tamika Mallory, I think she speaks very well. She's given some of the most powerful speeches to date, in this recent movement. I mean, she's very very reminiscent of Sister Soldier of my day.
Yeah. But the people are pointing her to face, because like if you really want to think about it, you should be a face, because you sit here every week and talk about this. So why aren't you the face?
Yeah.
Because the people appointed these people. You feel me?
because I don't go out there and be like, I'm the face. You got to do that to be the face.
I call it the Jay-Z effect. Like, what I'm saying? How like in rap music, like a lot of people had issues with Jay-Z calling himself Hova, or like the greatest thing that ever happened to the rap game. But all these years later, that's what a lot of people hold him up as. Like,
I agree with that, because even with Lil Wayne, he started calling himself the best rapper alive.
Exactly.
T.I. started calling himself the king. Like, you gotta kind of proclaim, you gotta tell people.
And that's why.
Right, but I'm not that person. You know what I'm saying? Like I could very well be like, Because it's gonna be another podcast in Atlanta, and they're gonna do the same thing I'm doing, and they're gonna say they're the thing. Uh-huh. I don't like self-proclaiming. In the Bible, it says, "Let other people, don't brag about yourself. Let other people brag about you."
And that's how I am, because like once again, that's how I navigate through a lot of the activism here in Atlanta. Because like people tell me all the time, like they used to see me at a bunch of marches. Like now, I still go to marches every now and then, but you don't see me at every march no more.
Because you're the target then.
Yeah.
Do you want all that attention?
And it kind of like one thing I figured out personally, and like once again, it's different roles for different people, so I try not to get into you should be doing this, you should be doing that. But one thing I figured out in activism for me, it isn't always a loud voice that wins a match. Because for me, one thing I figured out as I started this Atlanta, like this is one of the places that I feel like everybody is somebody. Sometimes you don't know who you talking to. Like, and it could just be the guy sitting in the corner, like everybody else got.
But you don't know, but everyone is a part of a machine.
And I learned this from one of my homeboys, Dave. Dave is a super quiet dude, pretty indescript, but I had a privilege of meeting him. He's influential, yeah. And like all the people you see on TV, like in the hip hop game, like anything dealing with business, like if I call Dave, like, and then this the quietest dude ever, like if you don't know him, but like if you talk to him, he can pull out his phone and make some stuff happen.
The problem I have with Atlanta, and that's not just Atlanta, but just period, like the culture I'm noticing, like everybody wants to be famous. Like you can't just be a dentist. You got to be the dentist on TV. You can't just be a lawyer or a judge. You got to be the lawyer or the judge on TV. So how are you?
But we live in a world to where, again, sometimes like popularity and fame,
it's like
it equates to money sometimes, because
all the time,
what's the dude, Dr. Miami? I know him because of social media. Like I'm not shopping with this man, but I know, and I'm sure he gets a lot of business. You feel me? He gets a lot of business. Again, it goes back. So maybe go back to the one guy. He's the Crump dude.
Ben.
He's results. You feel me? You got this fame and you provide results, so you're gonna continue to, people gonna notice you once you start making a difference and you provide results. I think it's kind of inevitable.
All right, y'all. So we got to get out there, and we gotta.
I feel like we just keep doing what we doing, because I feel like we are Connecting the Dots podcast is respected. People come to us all the time. I get my news for Connecting the Dots. I get my news
everybody
from
says that.
Dots, you feel me? So I just feel like you just have to stay in your lane. We not necessarily people to say, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that."
Right.
We just gonna show you. We gonna show you
the news.
I'm gonna come in here next week with my stunner.
I'm gonna wear my Ghostface Killer fur and a big old hat.
It's a perception game. Even with this, I was talking to my boy yesterday. Like even in the camera world, the
videographer world, there's the ones that's noted.
He was talking about with the red camera.
Oh yeah.
He got a red camera. Like he was like, man,
automatic respect.
He said I could automatically get $3,000, $5,000 per job just because of this camera.
Why? What's the red camera?
It's one of the top cameras.
You have one?
Nah, I used one before, but it's one of the top cameras. Like, you feel me? And it's just like when people see this, they respect it. Just like if I was to pull up in a Lamborghini, people gonna respect me just because. Just like
might not have no job, might be the worst dude ever. But
it might be rented.
Yeah. just like you get a different response. Well, I know as a man, I get a different response when I got on a suit than when I got on a jogging suit or a sweatsuit.
Yeah.
I feel like I get more. I won't say respect, but it's like, okay, damn. It's a different response. And I'm sure, like, even with you, when your hair a certain way, it's certain men that
we talked about that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
When I wear braids, nobody likes me.
It's perception.
Word.
Yeah. When I wear like braids, cornrows, I'm looked at like, they think I'm burning incense and oils and and then when I'm not, everybody's like, hey, what's up? It's different.